Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let Fear Bounce. This is Kim Langling, and I am so happy that you are deciding to spend just a small part of your day with myself today and my special guest, Glenda Benevides. Now, I am so excited to have her back on. She is a returning guest, folks. She's an American singer-songwriter, author, and podcast host coming to us from the Bay Area in California. And this year, she was featured on Antonio Vergara's contemporary blues album, The Fury, which, dun dun dun, was nominated for a Grammy, and she got to attend the Grammys, folks. How exciting is that? Now, The Fury contains contributions from renowned international artists, which crosses the borders and reaches a global audience. Glenda's inclusion in this project highlights the power of music to connect people from different cultures and create a dialogue that transcends the musical. She has been a member of the Recording Academy since 2021, and she is also an accomplished author, folks. She has published Courage, Find Your Fire, and Ignite Action in Your Life, Soul on Fire, and Own the Goddess Within. Ta-da! Glenda, welcome to Let Fear Bounce. So good to have you back.
Thanks, Kim. It's so good to be back.
Now,
I'm
I have
glad to.
been so excited for you. Since I found out and that you were posting and stuff on social media that The Fury, the album that you were on, a collaborative effort, was nominated for a Grammy. So I actually want to, because me being like, oh, this is so exciting. I want to find out what your Grammy experience was like actually being there.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it was fun. It was nerve-wracking. There was a whole process that I went through emotionally and physically to the point where I had little like stress bumps. I was so stressed out. I was like, "Oh my God." Um, and it was a really an amazing thing because Antonio heard my track "We Walk On Past" because it was up. I was being hopefully being nominated for that, right? He had heard it and he said, "I would love for you to be on my album." And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Okay.
Now,
So he sent.
did you know him prior?
No, no,
Oh,
he's from Ecuador. Just one
yeah,
of
so
the.
it's not like he's a neighbor down the street.
No, I don't even know if he's part of the Recording Academy, but I was like, wow, because that's not always the option. But I am. So anyway, he reached out to me and he said, I'd love your voice. I'd love for you to be on the album. Da da da. I'm like, okay, it sounds fabulous. Send me the track. He sent me the track. I listened to it, and then I created the melody because he sent me the words, and I thought I was going to write the words because I'm a lyricist, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to write the melody this time. So we did. I wrote the melody, I sang it, sent it back and said, hey, I'd been sick. If you want me to redo it, I'll redo it. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, you made me cry. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Da-da.
Yeah.
So done. And then this, second round is when you wait for the nomination. So there's a whole second round of voting, and it's an industry award. So it has nothing to do with fans or anybody that's watching the Grammys or anything. It's all about us musicians going a nod. That's good. Okay. So there's 5 in each category. Usually, sometimes there's more, depending on the votes and stuff like that. So I jumped on and checked out to see who got the nod, who got the nomination, and it was Antonio. And I was like, oh my God, that means me too. So, um,
Well,
wow,
what did you fall off your chair?
pretty much. I just did this.
That's so cool though. I can't even imagine what that must have felt like.
Yeah, it was actually surreal. It was like you just like, okay. And then you know how people talk about being frauds? I never understood that term. I did then. I was like, really? Because I always have it in my mind that if you're acknowledged for something, you need to do the work, or it has to be yours only. Not playing in team. That's kind of how it was sitting in my head. It's like when it sits like that, then you kind of go, Well, yeah. Really, am I nominated? And everybody kept walking around going, "No, Glenda, you're nominated." Like, no. And I think it really hit me when I. And by the way, there's two Grammys. There's two, which
Okay.
people don't know. So the first Grammy starts at noon, and that's when they go through all the nominations, and I can even show you a picture of it.
Oh,
All
wow.
94. Ta-da! They call it the premiere ceremony, which I had no idea. No one tells you these things. It's crazy. And then you sit there and you go through all, and the nominees are, and you go through, and they had music and they had artists singing, and there was like all these really cool things. I mean, one of my favorite songwriters is Casey Musgrave, and she actually got a nomination and a win, and she was amazing. I was like, oh my god, like
You're like,
this
yeah,
is
fangirl.
fabulous. So yeah, it was totally fun. And I felt at that moment, because I was sitting next to a guy that was like from Atlanta or something like that, and he said he had been in the music industry for forever, but he had been a Recording Academy member since 2012. And I was like, yeah, I've only been in for 3 years. And he's like, yeah. It's like, that's cool, And he's like, what were you nominated for? And I said, oh, this. And he's like, he looked at me and he said, that's amazing. And you're nominated. And I think in that moment, it hit
Um,
me like it was real. It's like, no, you're nominated. You may not be going up to accept the award, because Antonio will if we win. You can't have everybody going up. It's
right.
not the Academy Awards. 35 people go up.
Yeah.
I just want to thank my mom. It's like,
Right.
stop. We've got time. We don't have time. So anyway, that was really wonderful. And I talked to Antonio later. I actually met him, I was very excited. He flew in from Ecuador, and we saw each other and found out some naughty stuff behind the scenes. So there was some kerfuffles going on, and we were pretty much slated to win, and that kind of got knocked down. So
Oh,
yeah. hmm but it's okay. To me, it's a nomination. To me, it's an acknowledgement from the people that I work with to say, bravo, you
right.
deserve this. And
Well,
that's really, it's important.
you, how many thousand, and you're in the realm, I'm not. Thousands of musicians are there that will never be nominated.
Ever. Wouldn't even be in the Recording Academy.
Yeah,
I know,
right. And I see it.
right?
I don't even understand enough about that to talk about it
Oh my
educatedly.
God, that we could have a whole seminar on
Oh,
that.
but it's, I mean, it's so, for me, it's so interesting
Yeah,
to, because it's kind of like, I'm like, oh, wow, we're like riding along on this little journey with you, because you were sharing about it on
yeah,
social media. And it was so exciting for me to, I'm like, oh my gosh, how fun this is just to watch you and
yeah,
your excitement. And you were posting some pictures of being there,
yeah,
but you said it starts at noon. So
yeah.
how does that go, like, through what's televised at nighttime? Is that a whole separate show?
Yep.
So that's what you meant when you said there's two Grammys.
Yeah. The most what everyone sees, on the outside, they see CBS, you see nighttime Grammys, you see from 5 to 9 or whatever it is,
Right.
right? We attend, of course, as nominees, and then of course it's in the crypto arena, so it's like huge, just massive arena. And then of course they let other people in, they spend money, and and all this other stuff. And then of course all the nominees, and there's all these different categories of seating for all of us nominees. The people down, as you see the round tables where it looks like they're having cocktails and dinner, that's reserved for the Beyonce and the big award winners, that are also record company execs and record company industry people. So that's different. Like us, we don't have to be on a record company. We can be independent artists. Some of us are, some of us aren't. So it doesn't matter. It's mostly about the categories.
Hmm.
So, what you're seeing is, best pop solo performance, best, pop dance recording, best song of the year, that, best new artist. That's what you're seeing at night.
Okay.
And then during the day, they televised hours. See, matter of fact, I was on it. They shot me, and my friend goes, "Oh my God, there's Glenda!" And she set the screen capture, but it was like, I think it was on YouTube or something like that, like that their channel or something. So yeah, if you wanted to sit as long as we wanted to sit, I mean, we went through Americana, country, R&B, rap, hip hop, rock, jazz. It's like, how long am I going to sit here? You know, it's pretty intense.
Are there breaks with it? Because I mean, that's a long time if it starts at noon.
Oh no, no breaks. You just get
Wow.
up. You just get up.
Oh, you just get up. Yeah.
You
Well,
just
you'd
get up.
have to.
You have to.
You can't sit there all day long
Oh
and
my
all
God.
night.
I'm sure.
Did you
I'm sure
stay?
some
Did you
people did.
stay through the evening for all of
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So did you get to
Yeah.
like, hobnob and rub elbows with some of those?
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
did you meet anyone that you never thought you'd have the chance to meet?
I did.
Who?
I did. Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, he was really cool, really nice. We were at a private soiree, so to speak, and I came up and I knew who he was, and so we were standing by these books, we're just standing there. He was standing there, and we looked at each other, and he smiled, and I said, "Hey," I said, "You want to take a picture?" And he's like, "Cool." And so he did. He looks at me and he goes, "We're going to the prom." I'll have to post that. I'm gonna post that reel actually, and then I met. They did a huge acknowledgement honoring Prince this year, and the people from Minneapolis, like his niece and stuff, came, and nieces and nephews, and they were honoring him. He got an honorary award and Grammy, and it was a great promotion piece for Purple Rain Studios or whatever it's called, and then the two of the guys that were there was Andre Simone, who played bass with Prince in the original, Purple Rain and stuff like that, right? He was there. He was so handsome. I was like, oh my God. I like when I was going to take pictures with him, and I walked up to him, and I just became like 13,
I was gonna say, did you turn into a teenage girl?
inside. It was all
Inside.
inside. Keep it inside. Keep it inside. And I was like, that kind of thing. It was like, don't, you're not 12, stop it.
Right.
And then I met Jerome from The Time, you know, Jerome, give me my mirror, what time is it? That kind of thing. So anyway, that was my fun fan stuff. The big stars, you don't get to see them. They do not, like, it's not like there's public involved, but they come in last minute, run through the red carpet, and then they basically go backstage. I mean, or in an area where they're secluded, like
Right.
nobody talks to them, and then they just shuffle out in their little tables and seats and stuff. And then Billie Eilish this year, she piped in a video from the desert singing. It was really awesome. I was like, yeah, I can't be there. I'm going to be in the desert doing a performance. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Um, and then, of course, Lady Gaga was there, and she sang, and it was beautiful. Yeah.
How
Highlights.
awesome. What an
Hmm.
experience.
It was. It really
I mean,
was.
that is something that you will never forget.
No, I won't.
How
And
cool.
it's kind of like when you get a doctorate degree, you get to use your doctorate. I get to use my nomination. Yeah. So it's
Because
great.
yeah, to sit there and then you, well, I'm saying you in general,
Yeah.
we, I guess I should say, that
Yeah.
self-doubt that creeps in.
Yeah.
I'm not good
100%.
enough. And all of that is driven by fear, I believe. All of that
Mm-hmm.
negative self-talk and all that stuff we do to ourselves. And
100%.
you were experiencing that even as you sat as a
Yes.
Grammy nominated artist at the Grammys, you still had that devil sitting on your shoulder
Oh,
whispering until that gentleman said, no, you are a Grammy nominated artist.
Yeah.
And that's when you felt validated.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, because I was like, yeah, I'm a fraud, and I didn't really get that. I don't know. All that.
Right. No, I get it. Well, I'm not a Grammy nominated artist, but I understand the voice sitting, whispering
Yeah,
in your ear. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it was really intense. And it's weird because once you start listening to that negativity, you start doing weird things. Like you start acting weird.
When you start thinking weird.
Yeah, just like, oh, And then what I was doing though for myself, it was kind of like I was like, there's that balance of you want to acknowledge it, you want to own it, but you don't want to be a pig about it. Like you don't want to be an egotistical pig. Yeah, I'm Grammy nominated. It's like that's
Right.
gross. Thank you.
Right.
There's nothing worse than somebody, so and it's interesting because you see yourself sitting there, where do I go with this? Do I just, humility is the place. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I
It's like,
do.
yeah, it's so important to go, yes, good job, own it, acknowledge it, and then let it be. Like just and thank people and be honest. And you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yep.
bring authenticity forward,
Right.
Doesn't make me
That
any
was gonna be one of my questions. That,
okay.
once you acknowledged it, was part of that feeling of, should I walk around and say I'm a Grammy nominated artist? People might think I'm, patting myself on the back constantly. I mean, it was that part of the verbiage going on. Well, you
Yeah,
mentioned humility. You gotta bring humility into it. And that's anything in life, isn't it? I think.
100%,
Yeah.
and it depends on you as a person. And I mean, it's complicated, but and I, my human design's like, don't do that, It's like,
I, you know, here's a question for you.
yeah,
I am uncomfortable when people compliment me.
yes,
I always have been.
yes,
Are you the same?
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
People, and they'll be like, oh, wow, Kim, read your book or listened to this episode of your podcast and it really touched. And inside,
You go,
I'm like, oh,
ah!
and I'll be
Yeah,
like, oh, well, and then I've had people say, Kim, don't say no, but just say thank you.
yeah.
And I have to, I told you how old
It's
I was before we
uncomfortable.
started.
Yeah,
I'm still uncomfortable and it's still work. I still have to sit there and pause
yeah.
and then I take a breath. Thank you.
Just a little insight on that. This is what I figured out for myself. First of all, it'll never feel uncomfortable. It will always feel uncomfortable. It will always feel that way. But what I did to shift that for myself is that it's not about you, it's about them. They want to you've contributed to them. They want to contribute to you the best way that they know how. And
Right.
that's to tell you how they felt about you or what they experienced about you and that you're the contribution that you are. And that really calmed me down. It's like you said and what you did, you just go, thank you. I appreciate that, because they people just want to be heard. They want to be seen and they want you to know what you did for them, especially someone like yourself where you're a leader, and you make a difference. You really do. And you're a model, you're a mentor probably for a lot of people that see you and they go, "Oh gosh, I want to be like Kim. Wow, how come she's so natural and so authentic?" And how does that happen? Well, because you know
And I'm
yourself.
feeling very uncomfortable right now.
See, thank you.
And so I'm just sitting there going, yeah.
No, and it doesn't go away, but that's how I
No, that's awesome though. That's an
wrap
awesome
that.
nugget. I hope that people listening just pick that up that you just
Yeah,
tossed out there because that's a good one. It's not, when someone's thanking you, it's not about you actually. It's about them and how they received what you just offered.
absolutely.
They received a
100%.
gift from you and they want to thank you for it.
Yes, and if you deny it, like or whatever, it diminishes their Compliment.
Right. And it diminishes part of their joy in receiving whatever it is that they received. So
Absolutely.
you're kind of like erasing whatever good just happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you shared that because I just caught that little nugget. Thank you very much,
Yeah, you're
Glenda.
welcome. You're welcome.
We all, sometimes you're in your own little bubble and you need someone from outside your bubble to give you their idea and say, well, this is what I tried and it worked,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Because I couldn't reconcile it either. I'm just like, I am so uncomfortable with this,
Yeah.
and then you start being weird, like with them,
I know
and they're
you
like,
start stumbling, over your words.
but oh no, 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 yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
like stuttering. And I'm going, I don't stutter. What the heck?
I
And
love
I've said that out loud a couple times, very, awkward. I become really
it.
awkward. And then I stopped myself and took a deep breath and went, I never stutter. And I just stuttered for about a minute and a half. And we turned it into a joke, but inside I was just cringe.
Totally.
And it was simply because someone was complimenting me.
Isn't that weird? I
Yes.
know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then all that stuff, it's like, it just stems from so many angles, in
Oh,
life. But
yeah.
the more that you can know you and understand you and honor that part of you, it also helps you ground in. And so when someone comes at you and it feels uncomfortable, just like you said, Kim, just breathe. Breathe and just listen, not wait to talk, but listen.
Exactly.
And just take it,
Yeah.
and just know it's something that they want to give to you.
That is something that I do for a lot, the breathing.
Yeah.
If I feel myself, because I live with PTSD, and along with that comes anxiety
Yes.
and all kinds of other things sometimes,
Totally.
depending upon the day. And I have
Right.
found that I will have to just, in my brain, I'm like, okay, Kim, pause,
Yeah.
in with the good, out with the bad, and now let's carry on.
Yes.
That's my mental version of pulling up the big girl panties and keep on keeping on. You
Totally.
know?
Totally. Totally. 100%.
So, what do you have? Do you have something fun or new coming up? I don't know, in the next few months or for this year. We're still pretty early in 2025. What else do you have coming up that's exciting?
Yeah. Oh, so many things. I'm actually taking this week to kind of step back and strategize and really decide what's next for me musically, and tour wise and that type of thing. I have some bigger goals that I want to step into with my big girl panties,
Yeah,
and
I'll be
and
cheering you on.
thank you. And I want to do, I love collaboration. So there's some ideas I have with that I want to reach out to key people. I want to elevate myself too a little bit more. And then I have a wonderful vocal coach that I've been working with. His name is Fred O'Neill, and he's the one that trained Susan Boyle for like 10 years. And he is a fabulous singer, and I am learning so much more about my voice and my spirit and expanding my range and things like that. So that's been great. And he and I are planning on working together in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to
That's
be
one of
doing.
my dream trips is to go to Scotland.
Oh, do it. Do it. It's 100% do it. It's the people are beautiful, loving, lovely. Edinburgh's beautiful city. It's I've never been in a massive city like that at like 12:30 at night and it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's like being in a village. You're like, "Wait a minute. I feel completely safe. I'm drunk and I'm walking the streets.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fabulous."
I've always wanted to because part of my family heritage is from that area,
Awesome.
and Ireland.
What's
So I've
what's
been
your
wanting to go to both of
Yeah,
those places, and I'm like, I will one day.
you should. It's yeah, it's great. It's do not miss this.
I've heard it's just so overwhelmingly beautiful
It is. It's
because it's
warm.
so
It's
different from America.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
And
mean,
it's really welcoming.
there are beautiful, amazing places in America,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
many that I've yet to see that I want
Mhm.
to. But
Mhm.
I do want to go across the pond.
Do it.
and
Yes.
visit
It's
some other countries. I've been to Europe, but I still want to see Scotland and Ireland and Italy.
yeah.
I want to go to
Yeah.
Italy too.
And they're all of them are beautiful.
I'm sure they are.
Warm and welcoming humans. So it's really great thus far. Yeah.
So you had mentioned before we hit record that you have towards the end of the year, you have a retreat that you're in the planning stages of. What's that all about?
Yeah, yeah. I'm working with a really special woman out of the UK, out of London, and her name is Dr. Madeline Chan. And she is an extraordinary, beautiful woman. And Dr. Jacqueline and the two of us actually put together a frame of having a beautiful 3-day retreat. Actually, it'll be 4 because you have to get in. But and I'm excited. We're in, again, we're in the process of it, but it's definitely around rejuvenation, spirit, loving yourself, listening, courage, confidence, clarity, those type of things for women. And you get to step back out of your life and just really have that experience. It's going to be in Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover in London, outside of London, I mean. And so yeah, so it's going to be pretty extraordinary, and it's very deluxe luxury, 4-day retreat basically. Yeah,
How
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It'll be wonderful, and it's in September, so we're working on that.
So when all of that stuff becomes finalized, where would they be able to find that information? Or where
Just
can
go,
everybody find
yeah,
information on you right now?
perfect. GlendaMusic.com. Really simple, really easy. Glenda like the good witch music.com. You just go on there and it'll say it talks, there's a variety of things on there. You can find my music, my podcasts, YouTube, and everything's there. And always know, everybody, if you are inspired to purchase anything of mine, I do plant trees. So
That is
that is
right.
that is one of the things that I love. And I'm working with One Tree Planted. So basically, you buy something, I take $1 off of what you bought, and then I throw that towards One Tree Planted, and then I pick where I want to plant trees. So far, I've planted in Canada, or not Oregon, California, because we've been burning, and then Scotland, of course, because they need some more trees, and that's my heritage. So I'm a Douglas. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, Douglas clan. So I gotta send them some trees.
That's a
You
treat.
chopped them all down. Now we gotta plant them.
Yeah. How awesome though. Yeah, so everybody it's what glendamusic.com.
Easy peasy.
Really easy peasy lemon
Mm-hmm.
squeezy.
Yep. Everything will be there. And then when the retreat is ready and it's finalized, there'll be a page that you'll be able to go to and click on. And then, we'll have a button where you can actually have a conversation with us about it, or you can just purchase it. All the information will be there. Yeah.
How exciting. So it sounds to me like you have a very busy year ahead.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Oh,
good
my
luck with
Lord.
all of it. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
that no matter what it is that you're going to be doing, it'll be successful. I
Yes.
just,
Thank you.
how exciting, and how
Yeah.
your year has even started off, hey, with the Grammys. That's pretty flippin' awesome. So
Right.
thank you
Yes.
so much
You're so
for
welcome.
being a guest once again on Let Fear Bounce. Now, I ask all of my guests to please toss out a nugget of hope, and that's how we close out the show. So, what would your nugget of hope for the listeners be today?
I would say find your passion and never give up. Boom.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yes, find your passion and never give up. And it doesn't matter how old
Just
you are.
that's right. Did you see my pen?
Let me put my glasses on. Oh, it's a Grammy pin.
Grab a pen.
Oh, how awesome. I didn't even notice that till I didn't have
Oh
my glasses
no! Oh my
on.
God! It's my yellow pen.
I thought it was a cat.
Kim, we got to get you some contacts.
I tried contacts
Did you? Yeah.
and I can get them in, but I can't get them out.
Oh no! No! No!
And so, they don't let you leave the eye doctors until you're able to do that. At
Oh.
least at my eye doctor. until you're
Okay.
able to put them in and take them out several
Oh, that makes
times.
sense. Okay.
And I could get them in, but I couldn't get them out. And they're going, it's right there. And I said, yeah, but I can't see it. And they're going, and they just kept saying, it's right there. And I'm going, but I can't, because I'm looking in
see
the
it.
mirror. I had
Right.
nothing in this eye. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm blind without glasses. I can't see it.
Right. Oh my
So,
goodness.
and I had really just irritated the heck out of my
Out of your
eye
eyes. Hmm.
to the point where it was swelling.
Oh
And I said,
no.
I'm not doing contacts. So I'm just sticking with my glasses.
Love
You
it.
know, I
This
don't want
needs
to
to
walk around
th-
all
th-
puffy-eyed because I can't get the dang things out.
this conversation needs to be the excerpts. Oh gosh.
All right. So once again, Glenda, thank you so much for being my
You're
guest
so
on Let
welcome.
Fear Bounce. Just love having you on and chit-chatting with you. And again, good luck with all the amazing things that you're going to be doing this year in 2025.
Thanks, Kim.
Everybody
Deeply
out there
appreciate you.
listening, thank you so much for tuning in and spending just a small part of your day today with myself and Glenda. How exciting to have folks on that can toss out those awesome nuggets of hope for all of you to grab onto. Tune in each Wednesday. New episodes are dropped on YouTube and on any of your favorite listening platforms. This is Kim Langling, your host of Let Fear Bounce. Everybody be well, stay well, and above all, be blessed. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let Fear Bounce. New episodes drop each week, folks, on YouTube and Spotify and most listening platforms. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all the things. If you're craving more nuggets of hope or heartwarming animal stories, and let's face it, folks, who isn't? You can check out my books on Amazon. Don't forget to swing by my website to get in touch and keep up with all that's going on within my realm. So until next time, folks, take a deep breath, be kind to yourself, and as always, let fear bounce.